Imagine this. You're locked in a debate, fists clenched, voice sharp as a blade, each word a desperate thrust to prove your point. The harder you fight, the more your opponent digs in, their defiance growing like a fortress around their mind. Hours pass, and nothing changes, only exhaustion remains. Now ask yourself, why does persuasion crumble the moment it becomes a battle? Friedrich Nietzsche saw the truth. The most silent people are usually the most powerful. Law 9 of the 48 Laws of Power whispers a ruthless paradox. Victory is not seized by argument, but surrendered to those who act while others talk. The louder you reason, the weaker you appear. The deeper question lingers. What if the real power lies not in forcing truth upon others, but in letting their own eyes betray their resistance? The trap is set. The real game begins now. Why does argument fail where action prevails? Nietzsche understood the venom in debate. Convictions are more dangerous enemies of truth than lies. When you argue, you trigger the backfire effect, the mind's reflex to defend its beliefs like a cornered beast. The harder you push, the deeper the roots of opposition grow. Schopenhauer saw it first. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. Words are mistrusted. Actions are undeniable. Society conditions us to equate shouting with strength. But history's true victors, Caesar, Sun Tzu, Machiavelli, knew better. They demonstrated power, never begged for it. The psychological trap? Arguing confesses insecurity. Action radiates inevitability. Now, the critical shift looms. What happens when you stop persuading and start manifesting? The consequences are silent, seismic, and already in motion. Every futile argument carves a hidden toll, eroding your authority, painting you as desperate, shrinking your influence to the size of your opponent's patience. Neuroscience confirms this. The brain registers prolonged debate as threat, triggering primal defensiveness. Meanwhile, the person who acts bypasses resistance entirely. The results become a gravitational pull no logic can escape. Consider the courtroom lawyer who shows rather than tells, the general who wins wars through maneuvers, not manifestos. Culture worships the winning debater, but power obeys a darker arithmetic. What you prove subtly is remembered. What you force loudly is resented, the silent consequence. While you exhaust yourself in battles of words, those who embrace Law 9 are already shaping reality, leaving you stranded in the echo chamber of your own rhetoric. The question isn't why they succeed, but why you still choose to fight on their weakest ground. The escape begins with a single corrosive question. What if you stopped needing to be right? Power flows to those who abandon the addiction to verbal conquest. Nietzsche's remedy was cold. Silence is worse. All truths that are kept silent become poisonous. But there is a fiercer silence, the kind that acts while others explain themselves to death. Rebellion looks like this. Let reality argue for you. Galileo didn't debate the Inquisition. He pointed his telescope skyward. Convert opponents into witnesses. Borges wrote, debating is impossible. I create universes where my truths are self-evident. Weaponize patience. The Berlin Wall didn't fall through rhetoric, through relentless, silent pressure at its cracks. This is the pivot. Stop demanding belief. Engineer conditions where disbelief becomes absurd. Your power grows precisely where you cease to plead for it. The final revelation awaits, and it redefines not just strategy, but the very nature of truth itself. Here is the silent earthquake beneath Law 9. Power does not convince, it renders conviction irrelevant. Nietzsche's greatest insight was that truth is not found, but forged, not through words, but through the irreversible weight of action. When you do instead of persuade, you shift the battlefield from their mind to reality itself. And reality does not argue, the ultimate power move? To make your opponent's resistance obsolete, not by changing their minds, but by changing the world around them until their defiance becomes absurd. This is how empires rise, how revolutions succeed, how quiet strategists outmaneuver loud ideologues. The final choice is yours. Will you keep begging at the court of others' approval? Or will you become the verdict? Act and let the desperate cling to their debates.